Brad, I'm going to jump right to a game near and dear to your heart. Bears, Packers. How are you looking to attack Bears and Packers? And do your beloved Chicago Bears keep their hated rival, the Green Bay Packers, out of the playoffs?
Well, I hope they do, quite honestly. But I do actually feel as if, objectively as I possibly can say this, the Bears going to be highly competitive in this game. They're extremely motivated. Justin Fields, in fact, I think is extremely motivated to prove to all the doubters, all the haters out there that say you should not be the franchise quarterback of the present or the near future for Chicago. He is going to silence them with another spectacular game. And the Bears ultimately, I think, are going to trade that number 1 pick. Hopefully the Washington Commanders get a stockpile of draft picks in return and get Marvin Harrison Jr. That's just my theory on everything, but as it pertains to this game, I have a little SGP, and I took Chicago at plus 3.5, and then I turned around as well and took Justin Fields for 1+ passing touchdowns, which he has done repeatedly here down the stretch. And again, I think the Bears going to be highly competitive. They're number 1 in EPA total defense here since week 10. Middling offensively, number 18 in that category. But Green Bay slouches in terms of pass defense, number 24 in pass EPA D. During that 6-week span, since week 10 at least. And then he has gone for at least one or more passing TDs in 7 straight games. So again, it could take the Bears a plus 3.5. Yeah, slap that together with Justin Fields, one or more passing touchdowns. And I grabbed that bad boy at plus 105. So a little sexy, little spicy, gentlemen, SGP.
Brad, let's go to Sunday night in South Florida. Bills at Dolphins for all the money in the AFC East, the 2 seed. You've got Josh Allen, anytime touchdown at even money, and then a same-game parlay, Tyreek Hill, anytime touchdown, and Tua, 1 or more passing touchdown. That pays plus 102. Does this mean you're on the over as well? And do you have a side in this game?
Yeah, I would lean to the over for sure. There's no question about that. And if I did have a side in this game, quite honestly, it's with the Buffalo Bills. I'll lay the 3 if, that's my only option available there on the table. I also grabbed today Josh Allen at anytime touchdown along with the Buffalo Bills to win straight up. So take the 3 points out of the equation. You get that a plus 145. Yeah, get seduced by that juice, gentlemen, because you look at what Josh Allen and what he's done. On the ground, he has scored in 10 of his last 12 games in terms of with the legs. And I know Miami is number 2 since week 10 in rush EPA defense, but similar to what he did last week against the New England Patriots, who are number 1, mind you, in that category over the same stretch. He scored not once, but twice, puncturing the end zone there. With the drumstick. So I think it's going to be more of the same for Josh Allen. Guys, really going to showcase the duality. I also would lean to the over on his rush yards prop as an isolated option at 35.5. I think he's going to be a busy man, do with the arm and do with the legs, in what should be a dub for Buffalo in the end.
Brad Evans joining us here at Noisy Huevos on Twitter. Make sure you catch his TV show Live on the Line and the Fade 5 podcast. All right, let's get to a Saturday play. We have no Thursday game, which, once again, makes us sad. But Saturday, we've got 2 games. First up, in what could be inclement weather there in lovely Baltimore, Maryland, we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers right now laying 4 against those Ravens. Deontay Johnson, his player prop is sitting at over 3.5 receptions, and that is something that you are looking to attack on Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I attacked that light juice, too, at minus 105. Honestly, it was a bit shocked, a bit miffed, and taken aback that it was that low of a juice on it with this prop, which I think is a very achievable threshold for him. He's going to see likely a lot of Marlon Humphrey, at least early on, in coverage, and Humphrey's been outstanding in that capacity. 50% catch rate allowed, along with a 67.4 passer rating to his assignments as a collective when all the starters are on the field. And we know how long they're going to play for Baltimore if they do at all. The Ravens are number 2 in pass EPA defense this season, but 24, gentlemen, 24 wideouts have hauled in at least the necessary number needed here. That's 4 receptions. And Deontay Johnson has done this in 4 of his last 7. Remember, he missed the first game due to injury, and he's seeing a healthy target share, 6.8 looks per game off the hand of the red-nosed quarterback there in Mason Rudolph. So I really like Deontay Johnson to haul in at least another 4 passes. Again, he's done this in 4 of his last 7 games, and I think that trend will be thy friend.
I like this juicy one with Dallas. Minus the alt line 6.5, and CeeDee Lamb anytime touchdown. Plus 150. You're also on Dallas at that same alt line, and Dak with 2+ passing touchdowns at plus 102.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas is going to come out and just straight up suplex the Washington Commanders. I mean, what do the Commanders really have to play for? Not a whole lot. And I'm sorry, Mr. Murray, because I know you're a Washington fan. But you look
I
at
want
this,
them to lose, Brad.
Yeah, well, I said the same thing about the Bears earlier this season, and they keep winning games. But whatever. I'll take my lumps with that. The Bears still got the number 1 overall pick thanks to Carolina's general rubbishness. But to speak, specifically to this prop, I really think it's going to, hit with relative ease on the minus 6.5 front. Taking that down. Dallas should win this in convincing fashion by 10 or more points. You look at Washington, number 27 in pass EPA defense here since week 10. Actually, number 28 overall in EPA defense. And Dak, number 1 in red zone pass attempts among all quarterbacks. Number 14, respectable number there in red zone completion percentage. Has thrown for at least a couple of touchdowns in 9 of his last 10. And I think one of those tight spirals is going to be the CeeDee Lamb, because all that dude does is score touchdowns, whether through the air or occasionally even on end-around handoffs on the ground.
Make sure you check out Brad on Twitter because all of his plays are there. It's very neat. He's got tabs on the bottom, so you can check out everything if we don't hit on it all. Brad, as someone who has been attacking the prop market as long as you have, going back to the days of just doing fantasy football, when it comes to Week 18 and the incentives, and now that they're a little more widely known, how much do you put that into your handicap for Week 18?
I don't put a ton of stock into it, honestly. And I know there's been a lot of threads and controversy in the betting community. Should you follow this? Is it shady advice? Is it not? Do whatever you want with your own money. That's what I always say. Make your own damn decisions. But if you're looking at some of the analysis and some of the advice that is out there, I look for the team motivations and the money motivation specifically for each of these players. And really with teams that are entirely motivated for playoff reasons, like Devin Singletary needs like 160 plus total yards to reach a monetary threshold. I don't really, I'm going to invest in that. Same with Dalton Schultz in terms of receptions, but I like Austin Eckler. He needs 110 total yards to get like an extra $100,000. We'll see what that number comes out at. I haven't seen it yet. And the same with DeAndre Hopkins to get $1 million, gentlemen, pinkies up there. He needs like 49 receiving yards and get another bonus on 7 or more receptions. So I'm waiting patiently for D-Hop and those player props to surface, knowing that Tennessee could play a spoiler of sorts against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who've been largely subpar defensively here down the stretch. But outside of that, I'm not buying any of these monetary incentivizations tied to particular players.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.